Welcome to the BAM Sports Show.
All right, so here we go.
Maybe I'm the weird one.
It's 2022. We don't judge. You do.
No, I don't.
A fan of the show had a shout out for you.
You should just shut your mouth. You're coming off as stupid.
Welcome to a brand new sports show experience coming through your wavelengths. Let's get ready to have some fun. So sit back, crack open a drink, and let's talk some sports.
And good evening, everybody. Welcome to the BAM Sports Show. I'm your host, Blake. It is Tuesday, October 4th, and I'm joined tonight with my boy, Southside Sox Rob. What's up, dude?
What's up, man? How you doing?
Living that fucking dream, dude. We had a good weekend of football. Playoffs are coming up for baseball.
Yep.
College
Exciting.
football's heating up. Cincinnati's back in that top 25.
Yeah, had a good week, man. Good week in sports. Good week in betting. Good. Looking forward to next week.
Good week coming up. You know, I'm heading to Florida to see the family this weekend. I'll be excited to, pop in the show from there with you guys, and then Extreme Rules for WWE on Saturday. And I'm excited, man. I'm excited.
Me too, man. I'm hoping. Hopefully we get the Fiend. Hopefully something happens.
It's got to be soon. I mean, they have teased and teased and teased, and it's got to be Bray, man. I'm pumped, and I'm going to SmackDown here in St. Louis at the end of the month, the Friday before Halloween.
So one thing I got to ask you, man. So me and you, we're on the same page. So we obviously want Bray Wyatt. But
yeah.
Would you be disappointed, if it's not Bray Wyatt? Do you think?
Fuck yeah.
It's
okay.
It's Bray or bust, right?
Yes, but I think that's because we know what Bray can do as a character.
Yes.
Right?
Yes.
If this new whoever this is, whether it's Bray, whoever it's Bray or it's not, all of the context and the creepiness and the fucking the video from last week with the dancing pigs into the slaughterhouse and all that stuff, I just want a creepy, eerie, I'm gonna mind fuck you every week.
Yeah.
Kind of storyline, and they're kind of setting that up with Dexter Lumis and The Miz with that whole thing. So I want Bray, obviously, but I think that's because we know what Bray can do from a creative standpoint. But if whoever it is, if they're creative and they bring that eerie, I miss the old school Undertaker days.
Yeah. So you're right. I was just gonna bring that up, man.
You know what I'm saying?
I was just gonna bring that up. I was gonna say we kind of need obviously, with wrestling how it is now, it was different from in the 90s how we used to watch it. So we had the Undertaker, we had buried alive matches. We got to see all those. We got the Inferno match and stuff.
Yeah.
So I think if you bring back an Undertaker 2.0, it's going to be good for wrestling. And Bray Wyatt is so creative. This man is got me it gets everybody thinking. It's dude, who's this White Rabbit? What is going on? What is this? I need to know. It's
so in depth, right? Whew.
The advertising's so great, and all this is just genius. Yeah. So I expect it. If it's not Bray Wyatt, I'm gonna be let down.
Yeah, like I said, I think everyone thinks it's Bray. I mean, they're hinting at it being Bray. There's serious signs pointing to it being Bray, right? I mean, even the picture that I sent you earlier, but of the kid in the Fiend mask, there's no way that's a coincidence. There's no way that's a coincidence.
He lands right in between that spot at the end,
Yeah, no. So I'm sure, and Keith, if you're watching tonight, I don't know, would the WWE go to this kid and be like, hey, at the end of this fucking show tonight, at this exact at 10:01, put this mask on? Because they had that kid walk over was it last week or 2 weeks ago with the sign that said "Revel in what you are," and I was like, "What is?" Initially I thought it was a protester, but then I noticed this security guard just kind of standing there, just watching it. Speaking of protesters, we are a sports show, but traditionally we talk about football here. How about Bobby Wagner laying out that bitch last night? That protester,
dude. Yes. Now hold on. I loved every bit of that. I did. Only because, man, like you never see like football players. Like it's always like security guards trying to tackle.
Uh-huh.
Like Bobby Wagner was right there. Do you think he gets fined for that?
So they're talking about that earlier on the PMS show. People were talking like on Twitter that this dude could sue Bobby Wagner.
Okay, but it's
Like,
just like isn't it just like the same like as a security taking you down?
I would think so.
I mean, I know he had pads on, but
But I
maybe
don't
like a
I
fine.
don't I don't even know, man. Like, what is that? I mean, the only thing I could see the league maybe fining him for is to set the precedence of like, hey, look, if a madman jumps on the field, don't run towards them,
Yeah.
right? Because you don't know what they have,
Well,
right?
it's
Like
like
that dude was
yeah,
beelining it for the Rams, and
100%.
I'm glad that we got footage.
Oh yeah, yeah.
Typically, we don't ever have footage of these things. Like, like the cameras immediately come off the field, which it's because they don't want to make the person.
Or
You're
go
still
somewhere else.
drawing it. Yeah, you're drawing attention to it just in a different way. Television networks, like you're not fooling anybody. Your announcers are still fucking talking about it. Just
Mm-hmm.
nobody can see it. I would personally prefer to see the motherfucker get laid out on the field. Let me watch
Yeah,
that.
yeah. The good thing we got right now is like everything's on social media, man. Every fucking
Everything's
play.
on TV, dude.
So
Yeah.
it's like you can't miss it anymore. So which is me. I think he does get fined only because I don't believe he should because I mean it's open game. He was just trying to take him down.
Mm-hmm.
Like security guards you see all the time that they can't catch these guys and it's hard. It's a circus
Yeah.
show. But
Mm-hmm.
that's what I can see like the NFL defending and saying like, hey man, we're paying these security guards. That's your job. It's
Yeah.
the fucking if shit
Yeah.
like that happens, you don't let them get on the field or you take their asses down. So I can kind of see them getting there, getting a little fine, but I don't think it should be too much.
Yeah. I'm hoping he doesn't. I really hope he doesn't because I mean,
You gotta protect this
like I
player
said,
safety, man.
yeah, I mean, I remember working when I was in high school. I worked at like Abercrombie, and they were like, if someone tries to steal, you cannot approach, you cannot follow them out the store. You're worth more than a pair of jeans. And I'm like, well, I'm not worth more than the $7.25 an hour you're paying me,
Yeah.
But like,
Yeah.
so I could see the NFL being like, look, guys, and maybe not a fine, but like maybe a league memo gets sent out like to the NFLPA, and it's
Hmm.
like, hey, look, like we understand, Bobby, like we understand what you were doing. But in future, let's not put ourselves in a predicament where we could open Pandora's box of potentially to lawsuits,
Yeah.
or again, you don't know what that dude had on him besides the pink smoke grenade
That,
thingy, right?
that's exactly how I was
Because
going
like
to
if
lead
those
to.
people can, like if they can get that in, they can get something else in.
Yeah. I was thinking, what if he was using that like as a he brashed it and had something else, man. Never know had a knife
Exactly.
in him. You don't know. I'm not saying he did. I'm just saying you don't
Exactly.
know. You don't know what's going. You always gotta protect a player's safety.
Yeah. Yeah. So like I said, I hope he doesn't get fined. I don't know. I could see more of like a memo coming out from
Yeah.
from the league to the PA or from the PA to the players or something. But I don't know if he gets fined. But who the fuck knows? I mean, right? We have to have hot on the side of McDonald's coffee cups these days because McDonald's lost a lawsuit because this bitch
Didn't
spilled
have
hot
it.
coffee on her lap. Like,
Yep. Yep.
So
It's just how
I
it
don't
is now,
know.
man. Everybody
How was
tries to
your
get a buck.
fantasy week? Did you have a good fantasy weekend?
I did. I didn't have too bad. I am 3-1, which is not too bad. I'm in my buddy's league. So, but it's like I said, it's free. So
Yeah.
I don't really like pay too much attention. I'd rather be in like a money league. But I
Hmm.
mean, I still pay it because I still get the bragging rights. It's still good to talk
Yeah. Yeah.
shit and
Yeah.
stuff. But yeah, 3-1's not too bad. So I'm excited. Had a good week. Had a more
Yeah.
good week in sports betting this week. So I'm kind of excited
It's
coming on the show. I did good, man. The only thing I will tell people, I had an 18 parlay. It was for $1,000, and it was only a $15 bet, which is fine. But I had the Bears +3. That's why it was goddamn awful. I mean, you guys saw me. I was like heated in this fucking conversation, like in the group text. Like,
I.
dude, how can you not score? That's my thing. Is like, okay, I get it. I didn't. I actually came on the show though, and I said like, dude, I think Justin Field lights it up. And if we're gonna talk
Hmm.
about the Chicago Bears, let's just talk about it now because I'll get it out of the way. But
Yeah. Let's do it.
it, it dude, I don't know, man. I mean, I don't want to give up on Justin Fields because I know it's so early and I know this team is so young, but I feel like I watched him. I'm more of a college person, so I know like what he can do and what he can do at Ohio State and what he did at Ohio State. So when it's like he plays for the Bears, it's like I don't think that like watching the Giants, man. It's like I was watching the Giants offense. I'm like, dude, that's exactly what the Chicago Bears should be fucking doing. These play
Yeah.
action passes, and it's like, dude, how they're running their schemes. It's like, where the fuck?
But I think that's
why?
what a lot of, and I don't mean to cut you off, but I think that's what a lot of Bears fans were saying on Twitter after the game, right? Because the
Yeah,
Bears
yeah.
interviewed Brian for the head coaching job.
Mm-hmm,
And me, I think Ryan, like we wanted Brian Dable as the head coach. We were
mm-hmm,
okay with Eberflus. We got more excited about the hire after it and after we saw the guy and stuff like that.
yeah.
But that's what the Bears fans were saying on Twitter is Daniel fucking Jones with 2 rushing touchdowns against us.
And you're supposed to be
Like
a defensive guy.
exactly. Eberflus got outcoached by an offensive head coach,
Yes.
and that's the issue, you know. Now let me ask you this: you're a big college guy. I'm a big college guy.
Yeah.
Fields' receivers at Ohio State.
Yeah.
Studs.
Always. Does he not
Right?
have that now? Yeah.
We don't have that now, you know. So, and if you, I think, and I'm not making excuses by any means, right? Like, there's been some bad stuff from Justin, but the receivers aren't doing anything to help him out. Sam Mesfer had an awful game. An awful game. He was
Yeah.
the lowest rated offensive lineman by Power Football Focus or whatever
Mm-hmm,
in
mm-hmm.
the entire league. Like, he had an awful game. I think either Justin's been sacked 8 times the last 2 games.
Mm-hmm.
It's got to be more than that, though. So maybe
Yeah.
it was, I don't remember what it was. The last 8 sacks, 5 of them are Sam.
So
You know?
here's my thing on Justin Fields. Like, yeah, the offense line is shit right now. So and I get it. You got to play fast because, dude, who wants to be fucking sacked? You know, that's like Joe
Yeah.
Burrow, man.
Yeah.
But it's still like so. Even I watched the whole game. So even watching at the end, like, okay, so the Bears had to go downfield, right? And the clock's winding down, and he's running the ball. Dude, I think I even heard like a announcer say, "Throw it."
Yeah.
And he still didn't throw it. It's like, dude, like you have to make a play, man. And that's the thing. Like, if I don't know how they're doing the play calling and stuff, but if Justin Fields wants to succeed, you're gonna have to throw the ball. Now, will I be okay with interceptions? Yeah, because you know what? I wasn't expecting the Bears to go to the championship. This is a team that
Right.
you kind of want to grow, but you know you have a lot coming out next year. You got the money to
Yeah.
spend next year. You can build around this team. See what you have. Play these young guys. That's the whole year that I want to see out of these Bears, you know. And Justin Fields. I mean, I don't want to give up on, but man, dude, these 100-yard games, dude, it's not good, man. I get the
Yeah.
running team's doing good, but it's like, dude, when you draft a quarterback that high, and I get it, you know, I'm not expecting everything in year 1, but I see rookies come out, man, just throwing 200, 250 yards,
Yeah.
like in a game. Like, dude, well, there's no excuse. If you drafted him and you thought he was the quarterback, use him.
Yeah. It's something has to change, right? Like,
Yeah.
I think it starts with probably some sort of offensive line shakeup this week. We got Minnesota. I think we're at Minnesota, if that's correct.
So we do have a comment. It says Fields was pressured 50% of the dropbacks on Sunday.
Yeah. So that's what I'm saying. I think it starts with the offensive line, right? Like,
It does. It does.
You got to give the guy more time, you know. But then again, he's sacked 6 times. Thanks, Keith. So
Yeah, thank you.
know, I think it starts with an offensive shakeup. It has to. It has to start with an offensive line shakeup.
Mm-hmm.
Then it has to start with some of these receivers making plays. You
Yeah.
know, we've got the lowest separation percentage in the entire league from wide receiver to DB.
Mm-hmm.
You know, we saw what Mooney can do when Mooney got open.
Yeah.
But
see, the thing is, like,
know.
it's Mooney and then who?
Exactly.
So if you double team Mooney, it's like who? Like Cole Kmet, like you drafted him high, then use him. Fucking throw him in there like those slant routes. Like what's going on here?
Well, I mean, what obsessed me about Kmet is he had a great camp.
He did. I remember I reached out to you and I said, dude, Cole Kmet's gonna have a big year. Like I watched him in like preseason. I'm like, this guy looks it. And then season starts, it's like, dude, he's nowhere to be found. Like,
Yeah.
what's going on here?
Well, and what worries me is Eberflus made a comment the other day, and his Bulls are losing by 12 going into the final. He made a comment that they were, they had got him going. 3 catches for 16 yards is not getting Cole Kmet going. I'm sorry.
No, it's not. It's not.
Like, for a kid that is athletic as he is and should have the Gronk style play, because he's very very similar in build.
Mm-hmm.
I just it's rough. We should be getting Harry back. They should be activating him hopefully this week off the IR. I think Pringle's still hurt. Maybe he's playing.
He is. And Jones is back. I mean, he didn't get any. I don't think he played any offensive snaps. But that punt return, it did kill me. But then again, you just throwing him in the ocean,
Throwing him to the wolves.
It's his first game back. So I know he's got to he's got to get back to. I mean, it's tough, man. It's tough. Practicing with your players and then playing against different players. Mm-hmm. It's a different atmosphere, man. It's a different game.
Yeah, it'll be interesting. We'll see. We'll kind of we'll see how they do against Minnesota this week. And luckily I'll be on a boat on Sunday, so I won't be seeing any of that.
Well, good. You might as well just want to drink that day.
I plan on it. So let's see here. What else we got? Vikings beat the Saints in London, 28-25. That game was much closer than I expected. I expected the Saints to get their asses whooped.
First thing, let me say, I fucking love that I woke up and was able to watch fucking football so fucking early. I know it's different, but it was like, you got to sit around to noon. Oh, you watch pregame till 11. It's like, all right, it's 12. I'm getting tired. Nap time soon. But it's like, dude, 7:30. I was like, let's go. Not even my fucking teams, but I'm like, let's go.
Let me ask you this, Rob, because we kind of talked about this on Friday's show about the Thursday night games.
Yeah.
How do you feel eliminating Thursday night entirely? The Thursday night game that would be played on Thursday night is played at 9:30 on Sunday morning, because then we can get three football games in, right? Like, we can have the early, the mid, and the late game, just like college football does.
Yeah.
College football starts at 11 for that reason, so they can go 11, 2:30, 5:30, and 7:30 or whatever.
I'm totally cool with that. Like I said, I was even okay with a Thursday game as long as you come off a bye and you have time to let these this whole four days.
Yeah.
I didn't think there was enough time to let these players rest.
Yeah.
So that's why I was like, it's too early. You gotta go for the players' health and stuff, and is what I'm saying. So I love that idea. I know they're not gonna get rid of the Thursday night football games because of the money situation.
Yeah.
But that is a good idea, man. I love that.
Just make the Thursday night game complete. Like I said, cut it out entirely and give us a London, Germany, Europe. Like, if the NFL is trying to expand over there anyways, let's do it. Mm-hmm. This is the perfect time. You save your players, you save their health. Yeah. You have this is truly a win-win NFL. You save your player safety, you make more money because you can expand into the European markets more.
It's not even European. So I was talking to a couple of my buddies of mine, and I said, dude, how about I threw this idea? Okay, say teams like Idaho and teams that don't have an NFL team, why don't you go you might play in a college stadium, but why don't you go and let them experience an NFL game, and you can travel. You know what I'm saying?
Because the NFL is going to lose money there.
You think so? It don't have to be every year.
It's not going to pull in the revenue well, I'm saying if we're talking weekly, like we were for
No, this is just once a year.
Yeah, but I think they kind of make that justification with the Hall of Fame game, don't they?
Yeah, it's in Canton, but man, that field sucks. I just thought it'd be cool.
Disagree,
I just thought change it up. You don't always have to go to London and these same places. Mix it up, man. I thought it'd be cool. If you want to expand the game, I don't know. I don't know. I like that idea though of the Sunday morning game. I really do. I loved it. I got to watch like three different time frames of games, which was
Yeah,
awesome. It
it
was
was
like all
nice.
day. Hmm.
Yeah, it was nice. I got up, watched the morning game while I was eating breakfast, ate some lunch, watched the afternoon games, and then I still had time to get some shit done in the evening, because there was only, I think, 3 afternoon games,
Yeah.
so there wasn't a whole bunch going on. So, I personally, I liked it. Let us know what you guys think in the comments, in the chat here.
Hmm.
Let's see here. The Jets pull off another win. They beat the Steelers 24-20. Zach Milf Hunter Wilson, baby.
Yeah, he looks good. He looks good, man. I'm more sad about Mitch, man. I watched his
Yeah.
I watched the press conference, man, and a guy asked like, what I don't really remember what he said, but he said, "Do you think they like wanted to go a different route and wanted to get a pep step or something going?" And dude, he basically like he said ask the coach,
Yeah.
ask the
What
coach,
does he
man,
say
and
there?
yeah, I mean it sucks, man, because I wanted Mitch Trubisky to succeed, and I didn't think it was going to get like you said, man. I didn't think Mike Tomlin would be that type of guy to change quarterbacks. The
It shocked me, right? Like Rob or Rick called that the remaining 72 Dolphins are not worried. LOL. Rick said that on Friday, and it really shocks me that Tomlin made the change,
Mhm.
let alone made the change at halftime.
Yeah.
And it's not like Mitch wasn't having a good game, but it's not like he had 3 interceptions.
No,
Like the
he's
entire offense was how many fucking balls did Chase Claypool drop? 7?
yeah, yeah. No, you're right. You're right.
Like
And
that dude had 0 fantasy points. 0. He's a top 3 wide receiver according to him. 0 fantasy points, Chase Claypool.
wow,
Missed me with that shit.
yeah, that's crazy. I will
You
tell you
know?
this. I don't know what leagues you're in, but if Robert Woods is available, this is my fantasy pickup. Robert Woods available this week, I would pick him up because Traylon Burks is going to be out for a few weeks due to
Yeah,
the
I got
turf
Rob Woods
toe.
on my bench. I got him on the
So
bench.
that's could be a good pickup this week, man. So anybody who needs Robert
Uh,
Woods, I'm just letting you know, go get him on the waiver.
Rob's also a Tennessee Titans fan. Keep that
I
in
am a
mind.
Titans fan, but I will tell you this. I watched the
Tannehill looked good
games.
though.
He did. Tannehill does look good, like all year so far. I haven't bitched about it. Now the only thing I'll bitch about is the second half. It's like the
Yeah.
Titans just like flat out just suck, man. Like they eat the game. Like
Yeah.
it's bad, man. I hope that things get better, but I don't know.
Yeah.
Win's a win though. I mean,
Yep.
I just want to win.
Yeah, the Titans did beat the Colts in Indianapolis 24-17 for those who didn't see it.
Mhm.
I just they made a good point today. I was watching Pat's show. It's like, is Mike Vrabel still the head coach there? Yes. Is Derrick Henry still the running back there? Yes. They're gonna be okay. Like, are they gonna be great? No. So Blue, I see your comment in the chat here asking if we ever talk fantasy basketball. I am about illiterate as it comes in basketball. I'm a Bulls fan. I like basketball. Like, I'll follow the Bulls, but fantasy, that's not me. Rob, any
Yes,
fantasy
yes,
basketball?
as
Oh, sweet.
yes.
Okay, cool.
So if you have any questions, it's a little early right now, so I usually don't like start it right now because I mean it is just preseason right now. A lot of injuries can come, and then this is like the death, like Sacramento King guy. King was it Keegan Robinson? Keegan from the Iowa. Man, that dude's gonna be a stud. So he's already in my stash when I draft. But yeah, so Blue, if you have any questions, come when it comes closer. I would definitely help you with fantasy basketball.
Thanks, Rob.
Hmm.
Seahawks pull off a win in Detroit, 48-45. I think you called this one, right? You rode with the Seattle boys.
No, I actually took the
Did you have Detroit?
Lions. I did
Did you?
have Detroit. I had Detroit, and I said it could go either way, but I said
Yeah.
I like Detroit's offense more, seeing when I saw like the first 3 weeks. But I don't want to fucking give any credit to Danny and Rick. and Rick, because dude, it's like, dude, I know they got a big head right now, thinking like
that.
But dude,
the
I gotta give him
Lions,
credits though, man. Like the Seahawks, like Geno Smith's like he must watch this show because I fucking talk so much shit about him. I do not like him. And yet he just fucking shuts me up every fucking week.
All I'm
So
saying,
Gino,
Gino,
I'm
is
sorry.
if you're watching this show, you better shoot us an email. Let us know. We'll get you on. So you can... Rob wrote you up, but you didn't write back, baby.
Yeah.
The Lions, man. I think my buddy Keith said it earlier today. They would probably be undefeated right now if they had a defense.
Yeah, their defense like ranked like what was it like 32nd?
Yeah,
I
offense
think.
ranked 1,
Number
defense
1.
ranked 32. Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, literally complete opposite ends of the spectrum. So that's just that's crazy.
Yeah.
Like we're talking about the Lions. The Lions having number 1 off. Like what in the fuck? Why is the NFL so weird this year? It looks like we lost Blue. He said, "Oh, not talking fantasy basketball today. I'm out." Blue, you're our boy. See you soon.
You're my boy, Blue.
Chargers pull off a win in Houston, 34-24 over the Texans.
Yes. Quick thing. Last show, I just want to let you guys know I gave you guys my bet of the week, lock of the week, and I did say I like the Chargers -5 points. I was all over it, and I hit it. I got another play coming up Friday for you guys, and yep, I'm in the lab working on it. I'll have a 3-team for you guys come Friday.
And
so if you guys can bet.
Austin Eckler finally got going again in that game.
He did. He fucking looked
2 touchdowns.
Yep.
Fucking about time, man. He was my first overall pick in first pick in the third. I was third.
So what I love to see, man, was Justin Herbert. You know, and we talked. We talked on the show like, how's he gonna be with those ribs?
Yeah.
What do you do? Fucking 27 for 39, 340 yards with 2 touchdowns. Come on.
Did you see Brandon Staley's press conference? He's like, "Yeah, we toned it back a little bit on the passing game.
Yeah.
6 passes, bro. 6 passes." Yeah, and Eckler had 3 total touchdowns, so it was a good day for him.
Yeah, it was. It was
good day for him. I'll take that. Browns fall in Atlanta, 20-23. Big story out of this: Cordell Patterson goes on to IR with that knee.
Yeah, I saw that.
Which hurts. That hurts. I got him in a league.
It does.
I think they Marietta only had 7 completions.
Yeah. So like I was looking at like it shows like the top 3 players. Dude, it had all Jacoby Brissett, Nick Chubb, and David Njoku. They were all like in the top 3. So there was like no Falcon player up there, but yet they still got the win.
At the end of the day, stats don't matter, scores do.
They do. You're right.
Which is, but yeah, so if you guys are a Cordell Patterson owner, look for, I think his name's Ale, right? I think it's his backup that came in on Sunday. Looked good. Somebody already fucking has him in one of my leagues that have Cordell in. I think it's actually Keith. Keith, if it's you. Let me get that. But anyways, Commanders Cowboys. Commanders fall to the Cowboys 10-25 in Dallas, or I guess Arlington. Cooper Kush 4-0 as a starter, man. Is Dak in trouble?
No, but
so if the Cowboys don't lose a game until Dak, and then Dak is so if the Cowboys go 5-0 with Coop, and Dak comes back.
As much as I like Cooper Rush, man, and as much as like this team is gelling together right now, I think, and this is based on me, do I think you should? Yes, because I think you just ride the ball with the hot hand right now until he comes back and settles down. But do I see Jerry Jones doing that? No. Jerry Jones spent a lot of money on Dak Prescott, and Dak Prescott is the guy. And when he comes back, it's going to be Dak Prescott. Do I agree with it?
Jones
No.
is in the comment or is in the media saying he loved quarterback controversy down there in Dallas.
We just know he's a Dak Prescott guy. Whatever he says, Dak has a red carpet coming back.
Well, and he's a media and clicks guy, right? So by him saying I love a quarterback controversy down here in Dallas, we're fucking talking about it.
Yep.
Jerry Jones outsmarting everybody. I agree with you. I think you stick with the hot hand, but I've got almost like PTSD from when Jay Cutler got hurt and Josh McCown came in.
Mm-hmm.
And the Bears went on that like 4 or 5 game win streak a couple years
Yeah.
back.
Yeah.
And when Jay Cutler came back in, he got healthy, he came back in, and all of a sudden he's throwing interceptions. We're back to losing football games.
Yep.
So I don't know. I'm torn. I don't think now the Cowboys are not winning games because of their offense.
Yeah. No, you're right.
Like the offense didn't look bad this weekend. Like it looks good under Coop. He's a game manager. He's getting it to his playmakers. CeeDee Lamb had a big game, but that defense is pretty legit down there in Dallas.
One guy, man, I question for the Cowboys. I'm not a big Cowboys fan, and I know Rick's not. Rick actually hates all you Cowboys fans, and he'll probably tell you if he was on here.
He
But
would.
one guy, man, is like Ezekiel Elliott. Like he's nowhere to be found this year. Like I'm shocked. Like their backups,
Yeah.
I think Zeke's actually should be in trouble, man.
Yeah. Well, it started last year. Tony Pollard came on last year down
Mm-hmm.
there and has just continued to come on. And I think, Zeke ain't gonna eat, I guess. I mean,
No, he hasn't been eating. It might be a diet.
Other NFC East team, the Eagles beat the Jaguars and Philly 21-29.
So let me talk
Eagles
about
are
this
the
Eagles
last
teams.
remaining undefeated team.
Yes, and to me, after watching all these football games, like yes, I still like Kansas City. I think they had a rough game, like in Indy, because after watching Indy, man, Indy is awful.
Yeah,
Awful.
Indy's
So
not good.
it's always those teams that like you just catch them on a bad week, man. And Indy caught the Chiefs because I still think the Chiefs are still probably the best team in the NFL. But dude, I think Philadelphia is number 2 easily.
You put the Chiefs over Buffalo?
I do. Because you know what, and I like Buffalo, and I know we talked about Buffalo like a week ago and said like Buffalo was a top team, but Buffalo easily could have lost to the Ravens if Lamar didn't get picked in the end zone. Like the Bills could be lying, I think, what 2-2 right now instead of 3-1.
Yeah.
So it could be a totally different thing. I still respect them, and I put them at number 3 because they are 3-1. But I definitely can see they always talk about that defense, but their defense is getting lit up. They got lit up by the Dolphins and they got lit up by Lamar. So it's like that defense and that defense is hurt. And I'm not talking for a couple of weeks. These players are out for years.
You have Chiefs, Eagles, Bills.
Yes.
Your top 3. Okay.
Yeah. I probably put the Packers 4. I mean, I still like the Packers. I think they haven't even gelled yet. And you still got Aaron Rodgers there. A team that fell down like out of my top 5 is definitely Tampa Bay. You're supposed to have like their defense just doesn't look good, and their offense is just not gelling. And I know Tom Brady has a lot of things, going through him, which we won't get into Tom Brady tonight, and we won't get into the Antonio Brown tonight. So we'll save that for Friday.
For Friday with Rick.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So. Because I do want to talk about the Tom Brady thing, and that leads actually to Antonio Brown. So I'm not going to get into that. But
he says he doesn't even have the Packers that high.
Yeah, I like the Packers, and I'm not even a Packers fan. I like them. I think they're going to gel. Their defense is always good, and I think it takes Rodgers a little bit time for him to gel with these new wide receivers.
Yeah.
So once he gets that, man, I think they're going to start clicking. You still got Aaron Rodgers, man.
Well, once we get through these scores, we'll go through, if there's time, we'll go through the power rankings and see what we can discuss. Because there's a couple that I was like, the fuck? Let's see here. Where am I at? Cardinals beat the Panthers 26-16 in Carolina. I mean, Baker's still the starter there, I guess. Sam Darnold's not ready to come back from the ankle sprain.
No,
he was just riding this job until he gets fired.
I think Matt Rule, he gets fired, and it's going to be sooner or later. I think with college football, I think already four fired coaches already. I believe. I think Colorado just fired their coach.
Yeah, they did. Nebraska, Colorado. I just saw a list.
Yeah.
There's like it's like $1.3 billion. Priest from Wisconsin or whatever his name is.
hmm So I do see Matt Rule going back to college. You know,
Yeah.
it's like, see, the thing was, like, I never didn't like Nick Saban, but there's like Brian Kelly. When Brian Kelly was like rumored to go to the Eagles, he's not an NFL coach.
Right.
You know, some of these guys are not NFL coaches. Look at Chip Kelly. You know,
Mhm.
Nick Saban wasn't. These guys, but you know what? College coaches, they're different, man. It's like they, you
Yeah.
know, they can groom these young kids. And Matt Rule is one of them, man. He had no business going to the NFL, and it showed.
I mean, I get it. You tried, but you did. He did, like I
You
said, he
do.
did great things at Baylor.
He
Like,
did. He
I mean,
did.
after the Art Briles incident, like you rebuilt that program, dude.
He did.
You tried. It didn't work. Go back to college. I think I could see him ending up either Nebraska or Wisconsin. I think both of
Yeah.
those programs would throw a bunch of money at him,
hmm
and I think he could kind of turn that around quickly. So I agree with
Yeah.
you. Curious to see how the Cardinals look this coming weekend because it's double XP weekend on Call of Duty.
Yeah, I got my game pre-ordered, so
Did you?
I'm excited. So I don't play football, so I'm not gonna be slacking, but I will be playing.
We already kind of talked about this one a little bit. Bills 23 over the Ravens. They scored 20. They're in Baltimore. Bills are just they're pretty banged up, I guess, on the defensive side of the ball. Poyer did play though, so that was a big lift for them because I think he had a pick six or a scoop and score, one of the two. I know he scored a touchdown.
Yeah, I didn't watch that game too much. I mean, I watched a little bit of that game. Here's my thing. Like, the Bills got an interception that, you know, Lamar Jackson kind of blew the game because they were eating the clock, so they blew it, and then there was that fourth down stop, and then there was that last second kick that left to the Bills.
Yeah.
So I think, yeah, the Bills could have lost, and they could have. Like I said it earlier, could have been 2-2, 2-2, but easily they're 3-1. And a win's a win. Like I talk about the Titans.
Yeah.
You know, if you sneak out a win, man, you're 3-1. So I got to give props to the Bills. But they're a team that when I watch that game, it's like, this is not the Bills that was
We
when they
saw.
whooped the Titans' ass. Yeah, like when I saw them
Yeah.
whoop the Titans' ass, and I wasn't expecting a close game, but I was like, this team is hitting on all cylinders, and they're not pumping the brakes at all. Like, they put like their second string in, like, I think, like, almost at halftime, I think. Like, it just ended halftime.
I mean, half of the defense didn't play the third quarter.
Yeah. So it's like,
Like,
dude,
they looked like a well-oiled machine, and now they look like a little rusted. Like, it's weird. Like, I would have thought they would have gotten better as the weeks kind of went on, but now they're kind of going in reverse. I mean, they got the win this weekend. Lamar is playing out of his fucking mind.
He is.
He is playing Madden on rookie mode.
He's playing for that contract that he declined.
It's easy, It's just Broncos fall to the Raiders in Vegas 23-32. I'm out on the Broncos. I don't trust them. The Raiders are I don't believe the Raiders are a good football team. We've seen it. And they looked good this weekend against the Broncos.
So let me rewind, because when we picked our thing, I did pick the Broncos because I was like, okay, this is where the Broncos, I think, change. I think they're on the right course. But I believe, like, right before kickoff, I think I messaged you guys in the group and said, hey, man, I know I said Broncos, but I'm going Raiders this game. I cannot see the Raiders, and I'm not high on them, but I honestly, they're a talented team. I can't see them going 0-4. And it just happened, I do see the Broncos beating the Colts this week. I know we'll get into that Friday, but man, yeah, the Broncos are just, it's like Rick said. When are they going to start catching on? Like, any moment, like, where's the rust that we know? Like, running, throwing guys, this and that. Like, it's nowhere to be seen. It's like, and I still don't trust them.
Yeah.
So I know the Colts are going to be banged up. I don't know if Jonathan Taylor's even playing. It's still up in the air. I do like Denver this week.
That's a Thursday night game, right?
It is. It is a Thursday night game.
But yeah, like Keith said, I mean that defense is just. I mean, it's like I'm not gonna put it all on Russ, like right, like it's a whole team, but uh, they just
It's just, man, like,
right.
yeah.
I don't know. I agreed with you guys on Friday saying that, okay, like if there's going to be a game where he's going to kind of get it going, this is the
Mhm.
game. Like you're playing the Raiders. Like we just saw fucking, you know, other people tear up the Raiders. So
Yeah.
it was one of those things. So Patriots fall and Lambeau in overtime. The third string quarterback there, Bailey Zappi, taking the Patriots into overtime to fall to the Packers 24-27. Keith said Dobbs is going to be a dog
Dobbs is definitely going to be a dog.
if he can learn how to catch the football.
I think he'll be just fine. Now back to this Patriots game. That
I'm
Bailey
shocked.
Zappi,
It's going to be a stud.
wow. This dude played like he's been in the league for 3 years. No pressure, no nothing. Obviously, yeah. I mean, if you give Aaron Rodgers the ball in the last, in overtime, game's over right there. But the fact that, man, he kept this game in and he kept his composure and he did everything. I mean, let's face the facts. Like the Patriots are not a talented team. I mean, they have some talent, but
Fuck off, Keith.
that's funny. Yeah, but Bailey
accurate.
Zappi, man, I like to see him next week too. I know I like Mac Jones, but man, Bailey Zappi, especially in Green Bay, I liked it.
Do you see how much he looks like Mac Jones?
He does, dude. It's like they're like, yeah.
It's crazy, and I mean, any game with Bill Belichick is going to be, a tough game.
Yeah.
Let's be honest. And I didn't watch the game, Keith. I just saw highlights. But the thing that I guess worries Packers fans, from what I understand, is their inability to make second half adjustments. And second half. Now this game is different though, right? Because they were losing in the second half.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, they gave up. Rodgers threw that pick six right before halftime.
So Keith was complaining that they don't make second half adjustments today in our group chat, and I was like, well, you guys are better than the Bears, and he was like, no, we only scored 3 points against the Bears in the second half. But I mean, if they were losing in the second half, came back, I think the Packers end up starting to continue to get better. I do agree. I think Dobbs is going to figure it out, and he's not going to drop every fucking football. Let's be honest.
Keith, if you're listening, let me tell you, I'm a Titans fan. I know exactly how we don't change in the second half. Coming from like the top team, the Titans don't even change anything in the second half. They're already playing it for the clock to run out in the second half.
Bleed the clock. Bleed the clock.
That's it.
Chiefs on Sunday night beat the Buccaneers down in Tampa, 41-31. I'm glad they were able to play that game in Tampa. Minimal storm damage there. So I'm glad that game was able to play there. Patty is just, if you've got 2 hands and a football jersey and half a brain, he'll throw you the football.
He's just a fucking cheat code, is what it is, dude. Some of the shit, man. Like, what he ran the ball, threw it on the 2-yard line. It's like, dude, what the fuck?
The 360 spin, yeah, dude.
Yeah.
Did you see? I want to give the Chiefs major props because they had a play. They were on like the 1 or the 2 yard line.
Mm-hmm.
It was for a touchdown. This dude motioned from across Patrick's face, right? Hits the brakes, comes back. Patrick is pointing over to something, probably fucking nothing. As the motioner comes back, he stops underneath the center, takes the snap, and fucking runs it in. Like, every linebacker, safety, cornerback, fan in the end zone, fan at home is trying to figure out what the fuck Patrick's pointing to. Meanwhile, the tight end that's no name nobody, 83, taking a snap from center and sneaking it in. Like, fantastic play call. Great. I mean, just
who that came from?
Who?
Andy Reid.
Well,
And
yeah.
he's a fucking genius when it comes to that type of shit, man. So
We
plus you got
I,
Mahomes, but
I love those kind of trick plays, like the
I do, me too.
misdirections. We
Hmm.
had one, so I played football at Crown Point, and we had one where the whole offense got lined up, and
Hmm.
then Chip, what is his fucking name? His first name was Chip. Not I keep wanting to go to Kelly, but I know it's not Kelly. Fuck, I cannot think of his name right now. Starts screaming and yelling and throwing his clipboard up in the air, right? And yelling at a receiver, "What are you doing? You're not supposed to be on the field. You're not supposed to be on the field." So the wide receiver comes jogging over to the coach, like putting his hands out, like, "What are you talking?" Like slowing down, like he's gonna take off his chin strap and stuff. Quarterback says, "Hike." Wide receiver takes off down the sideline. You throw that little quick bomb, dude.
Wow,
I just,
that's cool.
like just misdirection. But I mean, the Chiefs look good. Right now, I think after that game, I do put them over the Bills.
Hmm.
But I'm curious. I don't know. Do they play each other this year in the regular season? Do you know?
The Chiefs and the Bills, I believe so.
I mean, look, I'm looking real quick because I
Yeah,
think that'll tell us.
yes, they do. It's
They sure do.
yeah, in a couple weeks actually.
Yeah. So that'll tell us. I think that gives that'll tell us right then and there who the number one team in the league is. Um, but it'll be interesting. And then last night, Kyle Shanahan continues to own the Los Angeles Rams. Jimmy G is
Yeah.
now 7-0 in the regular season against them.
Hmm.
Cooper Kupp is an asshole for catching 15 footballs. I just
I'm shocked because first of all, let me tell you this: Bears fans, be happy you don't have Allen Robinson on your team anymore.
Oh my god, dude.
So that's one thing I want to get out of the way. Two, man, it's like, dude, it's like watching the old like Lions with Matthew Stafford yesterday.
Mm-hmm.
It was like, like this don't even look like a championship team,
No.
And I'm not. Credit to the 49ers. They came out and they played good. They're not a bad team. It's just I didn't know who the Bears, I didn't know who the 49ers were because you're playing in a damn tundra,
Mm-hmm.
a damn Amazon. But yeah, the 49ers just look good, man. They're a different team. Debo
They looked
Samuel just
much better last night than they did last week against the
100%.
was it
100%.
Seahawks?
Yes.
Who the Seahawks beat? Yeah, it was Seahawks, right?
It was the Seahawks.
They won the game, but Jimmy G, we were not impressed by Jimmy G, if I remember correctly.
I thought they played the Broncos last week and they lost last week.
Maybe
They beat the Seahawks the week before, I think. It was like
maybe that's
27-7.
what I'm thinking of.
Yeah.
Maybe that's what I'm thinking of.
Because they lost to the Broncos on, was it Monday night?
Oh, yeah. And then, speaking of the Broncos, Thursday night, we got the Battle of the Ponies. The Colts travel to Denver. I know you like that, don't you?
I did.
Colts
That was
travel to
good.
Denver. Thursday night game. Short rest. I don't think we see Jonathan Taylor. I mean, 4 days. Like we were talking about at the beginning of the show. It's just not a lot of time, especially if you're dealing with aches and pains. And he's your franchise running back. Are you really going to run him out there against a team that you have not like Naeem Harris is a very formidable backup.
Yeah,
a stud backup. Like that dude would start on a lot of other teams.
Well, don't forget though, Russell Wilson is questionable.
Oh, is he? I didn't see that.
Yeah, so I think he said he's going to give it no matter what. He's going to be full go to play. But I know they were like iffy on him, but he wants to do anything in his power to play Thursday night against the Colts. And I if we're going to pick these teams, obviously this can be before Friday, so I guess we can pick them anyways. I like the Broncos this game. I do. Watching the Colts, man, it's just, dude, I thought the Colts were going to be like somewhat good, man. A team that surprised me is the Jacksonville Jaguars, and a team that's taken 2 steps back is the Colts. And
the offensive line is bad this year.
Yeah, it's and the defense is it's just like Colts always had a good defense, and what's baffling with me is the Colts is it's like, well, first you got Jim Irsay, who owns the Colts, so I mean I get it, but it's like you have a good team, You have Jonathan Taylor. You have good wide receivers. Why not fucking draft a quarterback early? Why you keep getting these guys like, Carson Wentz? And you're trading draft picks to get Carson Wentz and Matt
Well,
Ryan?
yeah.
It makes no sense. It's like one of the running backs just came out in a post game and said, "Well, the reason why we lose is because because we always have a new quarterback every year."
Yeah,
Which he's
we're
right.
always restarting.
I thought the same thing. Like, why not draft a quarterback and have a stud? What a stud team that's now.
Now, here's what I would have liked to see them do. If you trade for Matt Ryan, Matt Ryan's going to be your starter for this year, probably next year. Draft a quarterback, let him fucking sit behind Matt Ryan and learn. But they didn't do that. They are going to, have Matt Ryan. They might draft a quarterback next year. Otherwise, they're going to be looking for another veteran.
Where's Nick Foles at?
Where did Nick Foles go? He might have signed there.
I thought he did. I just didn't want to say it, and then I'd be wrong.
Let's see.
Yeah, he is actually with the Colts.
Yeah, he's in the So I mean, obviously you're not going to make the switch to Nick Foles, right? But like, I think you've got to get a young quarterback in the building to start learning, so you can start preparing for the future, like you just said. But I think Irsay and Broussard there are in a win now mindset, right?
Yeah.
Like your offensive line is starting to age. So you're going to have to rebuild that thing here in the next couple of years. Your defense is starting to age a little bit. I think it's interesting that we have seen it now with two teams. The Broncos defense has fallen off with Vic Fangio coming out, right? And Vic was the head coach. But the Colts losing Eberflus to Chicago and Alan Williams to Chicago, his number one assistant.
Yeah.
That defense is not even close. They're a shell of what they once were last year.
Oh yeah.
So it's interesting. It's very interesting there.
Plus Shaq Leonard hurt. DeForest Buckner, he was hurt. So this team hasn't been like fully healthy. But I think let me go back to see. I think like last week, I think the Titans held Jonathan Taylor to, I believe, 40 yards. I could be wrong, but I know it's he's not even on there. But it was like I think 40 something yards. But he's not getting it going, and Matt Ryan does not look good, and the Colts are taking 2 steps back. Why the Jaguars? I'm like, we have to watch for these Jaguars, man.
Yeah.
Like this
is not
Rick's
the Jaguars game this weekend.
He is. He did. He said that.
So that'll be fun. So, well, I know you've got an early morning, so we'll go ahead and wrap this up and get out of here tonight.
Okay.
Keith says he'll trade them Jordan Love.
That's funny.
Packers fans trying. So we'll get out of here Friday. One of these guys will be hosting the show. I don't know who it'll be. We'll get that figured out for you guys. I'll be hopping on from Florida for a little bit just to kind of check in and say hi. And then maybe make some picks and all that fun shit.
Yeah, I'm excited, man. Ryan, feel better. Hopefully we have you for Friday.
Yeah, hopefully he'll be back. He's been sick. I know Rick is back at home in Jacksonville, so he won't be with us on Tuesdays again. My dog is having a dream over there. So guys, we appreciate you hanging out with us tonight. Make sure you hit the like and subscribe button. Be a friend, tell a friend. All of that fun, good stuff, guys. As always, it's down in that corner over there. All right, guys. We'll be back on Friday. We'll see you then. Thanks, guys.
Later.